And besides the recording, it's as always, you can just ask a question and turn on the microphone yourself and ask a question, or you can write in the chat, of course. So this is about nothing, which means that it doesn't have a goal. This message, this conversations, this meeting is all there is, if you want so, and it's not about anything else. And that basically means it's not about your fulfilled or liberated future or mine. Um, because that's basically the only thing what it can be for, or what the person thinks it might be for me, so to speak. For the person, this would just be a present moment, an experience in the present moment, which hopefully is useful for the future. That's how the person would experience this. But what we talk about here, what this points to, is that the person itself is illusory. There is no one. And what I regard as the person is this sense of presence that people talk about, this me, which claims that it still needs to find something deeper and that life has to be about something. And let's say this can't be it, and I need to become fulfilled or enlightened or find something deeper. And what this passage points to is that this I doesn't have any substance at all. And what I would call liberation, it's all in the story. What I would call liberation is the collapse of that illusion that there is a sense of presence, because there just isn't. No one is present. And this experience, I'm aware of myself. I experience myself to be something autonomous, an entity that is illusory. On the one hand, it's the seeker, that is the seeker, the sense of presence. On the other hand, it doesn't have any substance at all. So that's it. This is all there is, and there's nothing else. And even this isn't something that exists here and now. It's the inexperienced, unknown, natural reality, sitting in front of a screen and thinking and feeling and having a surrounding. That's the natural reality. So anyone who wants to say something is welcome to do so.
Andreas,
Hello.
hi.
Hi.
Um, did you just say thinking and feeling is the natural reality?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Um,
If that's
for
what seems
for
to be
who? For
happening, of course.
yeah, but who's thinking and who's feeling?
Well, there is no answer to this because there is no experience of thinking and feeling. There's just a body that thinks and feels, but for no one.
Yeah, okay. There's no experience of it, so we don't know. Nobody knows. The environment
Yeah, true.
is natural, also natural reality, but nobody knows, right?
Exactly. Yes. No one knows what this means or what this is, the natural reality. There is no such thing, really.
Thank you.
Thank you. So there's a question in the chat. Is the apparently separate self also part of the natural reality? Yes, absolutely. But it's not really a part of the natural reality. It is the natural reality, the illusion to be a separate self. Of course. Yeah. I mean, when I say it's an illusion of a separate self, is that means that there is no separate self exactly because it is the undivided natural reality. There is no separate self sitting in the body, and there isn't a separate body from the surrounding. It's all undivided. That's why I say the illusion of there being a separate self is what seems to be happening. So yes, that's a natural reality, of course. That's why there's no one who can or needs to do anything about it. So when I say this is it, it's not pointing to a deeper reality. It's quite direct. This is it. And if a number of people claim that they are a me or a separate self, well, that's it. I mean, that's what seems to be happening. And of course, that's the natural reality. There isn't anything else. One could say exactly that's why separation isn't real, because there is no separation, because it's the natural reality, the impression to be separate. But exactly as what it is, that's what I just said, the impression to be separate. So the illusion of separation can never become the illusion of wholeness, so to speak, because it is whole and complete as what it is, the impression to be separate. That's what it is, so to speak. One could say that's its problem, that it's already the natural reality. Thank you. And I mean, who can do something against that? I mean, so there is nothing but apparent natural reality. Yes, if you want so, yes. There's just what seems to be happening, and that's naturally itself. Of course, timelessly, spacelessly, can't be known, can't be used. What seems to be happening, it's just itself. And in a way, one could say that's all there is. What seems to be happening to no one. Of course, it's weird to say that's all there is because it sounds like something exists, really. It doesn't divide itself from all that doesn't exist. So, but yeah, yes, that's it. But as I said, there's no line between is happening and is not happening.
Is that why nothing dies?
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, nothing lives and nothing dies. Yes.
It
This
can't.
this life is dreamt. I'm alive. I'm now here. I have a life. I'm present. I experience myself. That's all dreamt.
So you know,
Yes.
then yeah, then there's no escape. I mean, there's no need to escape.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah.
What the person tries to escape in the end is all there is. So it's a, it's a bit weird to try to escape from this, but it's impossible. Oh,
what
it's
what
impossible.
is and isn't.
Yeah. Yes, of course. Oh yeah, that's why it never manages. It can't escape from what happens. It can't escape from itself, so to speak, being an apparent illusion, and it can't escape from what happens. Can't escape from traffic, tickets, and rain, and whatever. Well,
Yeah, but I mean, I mean, in terms of like that, there's that automatically like that there is a non-being and then there's a being. That's the split in a way for the person.
yes, but this split only happens for the illusion of being.
Yes, yes, for this person, for the person.
Exactly, that is creating the split. And suddenly there is life, me being present, and
Yeah.
the possibility of not being there anymore, of death. Yeah. No, but this, what happens, so to speak, doesn't have any clue about life and death.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just constantly, well, I don't know. It's just because there's no escape from it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, there's no escape from what happens.
Yeah.
Impossible.
Thanks.
Thank you. But it can't escape trying to escape as well. Oh yeah, that's what I mean. There is no escape from what seems to be happening. And if what seems to be happening is the illusion to be someone, which means trying to awaken into a better state or trying to create a better state. Oh yeah, of course. There is no escape from what seems to be happening. Of course. Yeah. And again, that's it. Yeah. You can do what you want, so to speak. It will just be what seems to be happening. Well, mhm. I have gone beyond the personal reality. Oh yes, that's what seems to be happening. No escape.
Hi, Andre.
Hello.
Hiya. So the me it doesn't die then. It doesn't disappear. It just carries on.
Oh no, it doesn't carry on, of course. It's not there.
Oh,
No, there's nothing there to carry on, of course. No, that's weird. Me carrying on. Me being is an illusion.
but this sense of me, I, is part of it doesn't die as such. It is
Only
part of everything. It's part of everything, yeah?
Yes, absolutely. Only when liberation occurs, this illusion dies. Because liberation is the apparent end of there being someone. But it's not that there is a real death of something. There is no experience of the me dying. In the end, one could say it's just not there anymore. And then this would be apparent liberation. But it's a story.
Yeah, because you know, you can always go into this like almost waiting for the me to disappear.
Oh, of course.
And it's like a trap, isn't it? Of
Well, yeah, but both conclusions would come from the dream, namely waiting for the me to die, or then I can carry on being a me. And
it's just crazy.
yes. Oh, because that's what some people love to hear, actually. Oh, that's okay. Then I can just go on seeking and doing my stuff and seeing my guru. Whew, fortunately, yeah, of course. If that's what happens, that's what happens. But that's not what this message points to. But of course, waiting for you to die, that's another illusion. That's also not what's being said here. Mm. Nothing is
Thank
said.
you, Andre. Thank you.
Thank you. That's a problem with not saying anything. It's always misunderstood. Okay, question. It is often said that this is unknown, yet knowledge seems to appear, right? Yes, absolutely. So apparently there is knowledge, yes, but it's never real, and it's never about something real. Yep, absolutely. So knowing each other's names might happen. Being able to take coffee instead of tea. Yeah, that's what seems to be happening. But also there is no real knowing, because there is no real separate coffee, and there is no real separate circumstance that's called tea. So that's all undivided and for no one. So it remains unknown. In saying, well, I take a coffee and I know that it's made from beans, it's unknown. The saying of this is unknown. The knowing of this is inexperience. That's actually what I mean with unknown. There is no separate experience of this. So that also here, this message also doesn't discriminate. It doesn't say, well, of course, the absolute can't be known, but we can know what a coffee is, or, right, isn't it? And no, because a coffee is the natural reality. Coffee is the unknown, and knowing what a coffee is the unknown. I have coffee.
So there's no such thing as knowing already, correct?
Yes, exactly. Knowing is just illusory. Yeah. Yeah. Which doesn't stop it from appearing, so to speak, which doesn't stop it from apparently happening. But yes, it's not real. Never.
I think you said yesterday there's functional knowing. I think that's what you called it, functional knowing.
Yeah, but
Knowing how to operate a coffee grinder or whatever it was. But
only apparently. That's just what seems to be happening.
but that knowledge doesn't reside anywhere. It just happens.
So to speak, yes. It's not owned by anyone.
So although I might know how to operate my coffee grinder, and I would say that maybe you don't,
Yeah.
that doesn't make that knowledge reside in me or in my brain or in this, but it resides here.
Well, only apparently.
Okay.
Yeah, but this is the undivided reality, that you know how to operate your coffee grinder and I don't. That's just
Well, maybe you do know. Maybe you do know how.
well, maybe it's not too difficult, but right now I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's strange that I think I know, and I guess all that means is that knowledge and separation are synonymous, right? That's what separation really is knowing
One
or
could say
thinking.
so. Yeah. Yes. Experiencing. That's the thing. Because the person underlies everything with this sense of separation, where everything is really separate from each other. You from me, your brain from my brain, your coffee grinder from, it's all this numerous objects and things, and the person really thinks it does know them by experiencing them, actually. It's not only the story that the person tells itself about those things, this is a coffee grinder. It starts actually with experiencing it as a separate object, something energetically. And that's where this illusion comes from, that it can know that object. And that the knowing of that object is another object, so to speak, that's separate from the coffee grinder. The knowing about it for the person is separate from, it's all separate in the personal world.
Right. It just fragments everything. It just
Exactly.
further divides.
Everything, exactly, by being aware of it. Yeah. And the thing is, theoretically, in liberation, it's only this impression which drops. It's not the coffee grinder, it's not the knowing of it, it's not you being able to use it, and I first you have to show it to me first how to use it. That's all the same, so to speak.
Right.
Just without this underlying sense of fragmentation, of separation, subject, object, and the fragmentation that comes out of it. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like the more that I want to know, the more divided, because you use the term undivided, but the more I want to know, the more divided I make things. And
that's one way to seek, to cut it more and more in smaller parts. That's what science does. Another part, and let's see, maybe we come to the truth, maybe we come to the end if we make smaller and smaller parts.
Right.
Impossible. Because here you are dividing something that isn't even something.
Right.
It's operating in a dreamt world.
But you couldn't say that by not trying to know something that would bring you to liberation.
No,
Doesn't get you closer.
No, because this conclusion already comes from knowing. It
Right.
comes from knowing in a real world that knowing doesn't help, or that knowing isn't a tool. So it's again coming from knowing.
Yeah.
But funny, I know a lot of spiritual groups who try that, they try to not conceptualize everything and have a more free or innocent experience or something by that, but it doesn't work. As I said, it's already in knowing.
Thank
And
you.
that's the funny thing. Sorry, it's not to you, Derek, but this message has nothing to do with concepts. Again, the person wants to get rid of something. That's not a problem, actually. To know what a coffee grinder is, it's not a problem. It's just what seems to be happening. But well,
Thank you.
thank you. I mean, those would be the two directions of the person, so to speak. Either it's seeking in smaller and smaller parts and dividing, or it's looking for one truth. So it's looking for one simple truth, one thing that it can know that is the truth. And the other would be, it gets more and more complicated, the theory. Either it's very simple, everything is God, all there is the absolute, all there is pure awareness, things that the person would regard as one truth or one simple truth, or it gets more and more complicated. And you have numerous books of theology and aspects and theories and another thing to think about and to regard and to consider and stuff. There is no truth at all. There is no real reality. There is no circumstantial reality at all. And this can't be known. This is not meant as one of those simple truths that one can tell oneself all the time when there's a problem. I mean, everyone's free to try, but there's nothing to do with what we talk about here. Isn't it already a concept to say that there's something like a me or a person? Who knows that there is something like that? Oh, yes, exactly. Oh, totally. Oh, yeah, that's why I keep on saying that there is no one, or which actually means there is no clue what anyone talks about when they say, yeah, but I'm a me. I'm a me still. Oh, no, yeah, it's completely dreamt, exactly. Who is that? What is that knows about its existence, that goes on claiming to exist? Is there actually someone? Is that something? Is it real? No, it isn't, of course. Yeah, that is the dream. I am. I know that I am. I experience it. That's the dream. It's dreamt knowledge. So that's what seems to be happening. People seem to go on claiming to be someone, and I have absolutely no idea what they talk about. and then they, there is no one. They describe it in all kinds of ways. Where there is this sense of presence, don't you know? No. Yeah, no, I mean this entity, that this soul or so. Ah, okay, that's interesting. Yeah, I need to become enlightened. Okay, all right. But who? Me. Yeah, I forgot. Yeah. So yes, that's basically what we are doing here.
Andres,
Yes.
would you say claiming there's no me, it's the same, and reinforces that what you just said? Claiming that there's no me reinforces.
Well, the me will reinforce. Well, what do you mean? Well, yeah, if there's a claim that there is no me, if it's a claim, it can only come from someone. Yeah. It can either be an innocent report from no one, or it can be the person assuming some weird state of non-existence and then claim that it is in that.
Mhm.
So yeah, apparently there can be both. And one would just be part of the dream, which is of course apparently confirming itself, because that's the only thing the me does. Or it's just empty words. I mean, it's always empty words, but within the personal reality, it wouldn't seem like that.
Thank you.
Thank you. But of course, for the person, even this empty report would turn into a claim because it can't imagine everything. When I say there is no one here, the person assumes that I'm claiming another reality, that I'm claiming a state that's different from its state of presence. But when I say there's no one here, there's no claim in that this is a difference from being someone. It's only an apparent difference for no one. But the person will understand it as, oh, Andreas, you said you are someone, I am someone, so that's different. So you claim a certain state about yourself that's different from mine. So yeah, that's how it will be understood. But the person regards everything anyway as a divided reality. Whatever is being said, it will translate it into its world of separation and circumstances that are different from each other. But this too doesn't make a difference. It's still wholeness.
Hi, Andreas.
Hello.
Could you just go back and describe what you just described, no state, Andreas?
Well, yeah, that there is someone in a state is the illusion. And the first state is I am, I exist. And then on top usually comes I'm unenlightened, I'm enlightened, I'm happy, I'm unhappy, I'm free, I'm not free, I'm half free. So the first illusion of a state is I exist. And when that drops, this doesn't create another state. I'm not in a special state of absence that's even more absent than the wall or the screen or thoughts or feelings or plants or animals or cars or planes or clouds, everything. So everything, there's just no experience of presence. And that's the only illusion. But I'm not in a special state of anything. There's just this illusion to be in a special state, which is called presence. That's not there, but it's not replaced with another state that's called absence or no me or something.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. But I understand that for the person it might sound like that, because for the person everything is opposed to itself. Everything is in another state than itself. That's how it lives, in separation, and everything is separate from itself. Again, every car, everything is opposed to me because I'm only aware of it. So that's how the person sees life or experiences life. And it'll also do that with what comes out of this mouth, but it's actually doing it all the time with everything. Apparently.
Andreas,
Yes.
can I? So about 20 years ago, there was a sort of a glimpse that went on for seemingly quite a long time, and everything that people, everything that I hear from you and from various others was seen to be totally obviously the case, and it was completely accidental. I happened to be a Buddhist monk at the time, but that was utterly by the by. The sort of veil of separation fell off the eyes, and suddenly it was like, oh. And everything that, the sort of key things that I always hear in these meetings, totally ordinary, totally unknowable, totally obvious that the self had never been, and a sort of sense of how is this obviousness, how was it avoided when it was never hidden, all this stuff, right? And that sort of parenthesis lasted for, let's say, about 40 minutes or whatever. And then I went back to my room and I was sitting on the bed, and then in through the door, across my eyes came the sense of being me again. and the feeling was like, the end of a very ordinary, delicious. There was a slight sense of jading. It was like, oh, look who's back.
Oh.
No, really, just like it was most like a sort of cloud coming in front of the sun again.
Mm.
And everything that, in a sense, had just been totally ordinary and obvious was now totally hidden again, mysteriously. And so all of my conventional seeking practices, obviously, that was it for meditation. That was it for all of that. It's just like, obviously, seeking is the only thing that's in the way. But, of course, now, as it were, it seems that I live in a tiny, tiny, tiny little world of seeking, which is almost just like walking around in a tiny circle with just that, like, what about me? What about me? What about me? What about me? And this is a non-question anyway, because, obviously that seeking sense is saying, well, yeah, probably it would say something like, but what can I do to see what is totally obvious, but it isn't obvious anymore? Anyway, I know it's useless, but now all I do is listen to your videos and Jim's videos, and it's a nonsense, isn't it?
Well, it's what happens. It
Yeah.
happens. And
Yeah.
it's condensed, or I don't know. I don't know the English word. It's just boiled down to the small circle where the seeking is almost simply and plainly itself.
Mm.
Why not? It's not here and there and focus on that and stories. It's quite itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all right. It's how it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Anyway, I really appreciate being able to chat.
lovely. Me too.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks. Okay. That's a longer question. So you wouldn't say that talking of this so-called me person does actually create it? No. Because if no one would talk about it, then no one would know that there is something like that. So no one would seek not to be this person, to be liberated, whatever that means. Yes, I know that's what this message is sometimes accused of, that if you wouldn't speak about there being no me, there wouldn't be seeking. Oh, people walk around all the time and are concerned with their life and their me. Oh, this doesn't create anything. And of course, the me isn't created anyway. But look in the world. No one has a clue about this message, or hardly anyone. And they constantly are suffering from being someone and are fighting for their me. So, oh no, I'm really sorry. Maybe you could say this idea that there is no one, when this idea that there is no one enters the personal world, it's another thing to chase. That's how it seems, of course, but it doesn't create the seeking at all. No, no, no. It's already there, of course. And of course, apparently for some people, one could say this concept can trigger the seeking in that direction, but the seeking is already there, you know. Anything has the possibility to trigger the seeking, even a forest. People go walk into forest and seek for peace and calmness. So anything can trigger this this seeking, or is triggering, apparently. And of course, well, that can also happen here. But it doesn't create the seeking. I'm sorry. Nothing creates the seeking, by the way. Neither the forest nor one's own thoughts or feelings. Some people say, well, but if there wouldn't be the feelings, I wouldn't need to seek, or they always bring me back into the me, or whatever. No, no. And you're right, actually nothing is created. Exactly, anyway. There is no creation. And there is no creation of the me and all that stuff, of course. That's really fun. Sorry, I have to go on that. That really happens. People, I had it that people get angry with me talking about this message because they really say, without you, I wouldn't have been seeking. Really overlooking that they've been seeking their whole life. Well, okay, question. So once the me drops, is there still an awareness of what goes on in the world or natural reality? No, no, not really. The body is kind of aware, and apparently sometimes it's aware of something, what it's just aware of, but that's not real. And there is no, you know, it's not real. There is no real awareness about anything. But it's like just what we talked about, like apparently knowing how the coffee grinder works, or apparently knowing what was read in the news this morning, if they are read. So that's what seems to be happening. But there isn't a real awareness that's really aware about what's going on. May it be this moment or what goes on in the world. So there's no awareness here about this and what this is and what's going on here. Not at all. But there is a functioning body which isn't unconscious right now. Apparently there is talking and thinking and seeing, and so. So there isn't an awareness. What do you mean by natural reality? Well, what I mean is that what seems to be happening is just naturally itself. It's not a circumstance. There is no such thing as a natural reality that's somewhere hiding here. And no, everything is just itself, very naturally. It's not There is no effort involved. There is no need to know it involved. There's no movement involved, no process, no path, no becoming aware of, no recognition of anything. That's what I mean with natural. It already is like that, kind of, but for no one. So I don't mean it in a way that you can know it, that it is like that. No, sitting, this is just already itself, so to speak. And it doesn't even need to know about itself. That's the funny thing. 40 people sitting in front of their screens doesn't need to know about itself in order to be this. That's how natural it is. It's already constantly the case, if you want so, but for no one. It's not. Could you say that what the seeker is looking for is already the case? Yes and no. I don't like this sentence too much, because what the seeker is looking for is always an experience of love, freedom, fulfillment, having arrived, not seeking. And yes, what happens is all of that. It is free, and it is whole and complete, and love in that sense. It is total and relative simultaneously. It is total aliveness, and it's emptiness and deathness, if you want so. It is presence and absence, all simultaneously. But, and that's the big difference from what the seeker is looking for no one. While the seeker always is looking for one of those aspects for itself. It's either looking for totality, or it's looking for emptiness, it's looking for freedom, or it's looking for love, it's looking for presence, total presence, or it's looking for absence, and always for itself. So on the one hand, yes, what the seeker is looking for is already the case. On the other hand, it's never what the seeker is looking for, because the seeker is looking for an experience. Mm.
Andreas, could you please just say again?
I thought you wanted to tell me what I should say, but
No,
I'm sorry.
I would never do that.
I'm sorry. No,
I'm not that stupid. Could you explain one more time is and is not?
Yes. Well, the problem is that is and is not can't be explained really. What this attempts to describe, well, it doesn't. It's not a very serious attempt. What it attempts to describe is how sitting in front of a screen is without anyone confirming it to be real, without anyone being separate from it, only experiencing it. So it's real and unreal. It is and it isn't.
Okay. And
one could also say what seems to be happening is neither denied nor confirmed. That is another way of saying it.
okay. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you. I don't take sides in that sense. I don't say this exists, but I'm also not on the other side saying, no, this doesn't exist at all or something. Okay, everything that seems to be happening, whether it's suffering or happiness, is love and freedom already, because it's for no one. Well, yeah, one could say so. Yes. I mean, in the end, it's love and freedom already for no reason at all. It's the uncaused natural reality. Yes, and the only thing that experiences or believes to experience it otherwise is the me, which is an illusion. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. But this being whole and complete, which is kind of a story already because there is no this, is the uncaused natural reality. There's absolutely no explanation to this, no deeper cause. It's not whole and complete because it's good or divine or whatever. No, it's uncaused. Like sitting in front of a screen is uncaused, or 40 people sitting in front of 40 screens is uncaused. That is the uncaused natural reality. That's whole and complete for no one. That's total, which would be love, and that's nothing, which is freedom. It's both at the same time. This is love and freedom. For no one. Oh, it's all right, yeah. All right, so I think that's it. There's no message, there's no teaching, and this apparent pointing doesn't teach anyone. It doesn't add anything to wholeness. It's just what seems to be happening in this whole and complete, as everything else. So this is whole and complete. Shutting down the computer is whole and complete. Getting up, walking to the fridge is whole and complete. It's just this. There's just what seems to be happening. And that's naturally whole and complete for no one, of course, but there isn't anyone anyway. So wholeness doesn't need anyone to recognize it. It doesn't need an audience. It's just totally fine being itself, walking to the fridge, taking out whatever's there, and so on. Thank you very much for joining. I wish you a lovely day. Nice to see you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Thanks, Andreas.
Goodbye.
Thanks.
Thanks,
Thank
Andreas.
you.
Thank you.
You.
Bye bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.